Hello and welcome to this on-demand session as part of Turnkey's cybersecurity conference Beyond the Application. My name is Louise Barber and today I'm joined by Mary Song to discuss cyber threat intelligence, why it should be seen as an important tool in your cyber risk management capabilities, and how Turnkey can support your organisation in drawing out real value from CTI analysis. Over the past 5 to 10 years, we've started seeing a real shift in the types of attacks that are targeting organisations, and they're targeting organisations of all sizes. The sophistication of those attacks as well is constantly increasing, and are often successful in causing real harm to organisations. It's no longer the case that an organisation can apply more security controls than the organisation next to them, or they can increase their overall cybersecurity maturity to stay safe from malicious attackers, as those attackers no longer look for the weakest organisations, but choose their targets very carefully for other reasons which Mary will come on to in a moment. Increasing security everywhere is going to cost organisations far too much and spread defences far too thin to be effective. We're also seeing these attacks causing greater harm to organisations. With many businesses going through extensive digital transformation recently, that attack surface needs to be protected, has grown exponentially, and the impacts are far higher as many business operations rely on those IT assets. And the regulatory bodies have increased levels of fine for not getting this right, which we're seeing with the increase in GDPR fines recently.
So this risk is real and definitely exists, but controls and measures can only be effectively chosen and scoped when this risk is fully understood. As Louise mentioned, cyber threats are growing in size and sophistication whilst becoming increasingly targeted, resulting in many emerging advanced persistent groups and increased activity in existing advanced persistent threat groups. Now, what are these groups? They are highly organised and well-funded groups that are selective in their attacks with specific financial, political, and ideological goals. They will take the time to probe and identify areas of weakness within an organisation and gather intelligence to ensure that their attack techniques have a high likelihood of succeeding. So the only adequate countermeasure to threats coordinated by intelligence is with intelligence-backed defense to give organizations a better understanding of the risks that these APT groups actually present. And this is where CTI, or cyber threat intelligence, comes into play. It can enable a more proactive response, leveraging power of that intelligence to make sure that we're strengthening our defenses in the right places based on who really is looking to attack us, so we can maximize the benefits of our cybersecurity investments.
So there are 5 key questions that we need to be able to answer as part of our CTI. Who are those adversaries? Those APTs that are attacking us starts the investigation into how to counter the threats that they pose. What do they want? Why do they want it? Go hand in hand to show us which of our assets we should be prioritising for protection. Are they looking for monetary gain? In which case, we may be expecting ransomware attacks for extortion on some of our critical systems. Or are they more ideological? In which case, we may be looking at denial of service attacks or attacks against our reputation through stealing and releasing our data. When will they attack? Are we looking at immediate attacks, medium or long term? The answer to this shows us what sort of action we need to be taking and we can be taking to counter those attacks. And lastly, how will they attack us? Which is the real critical question, really, looking at the advanced persistent threat groups, tactics, techniques and procedures so that defences can be moulded to counter those TTPs, as we call them. This can be at all risk management levels. At the strategic level, we're looking at actions we can take over the next 5 to 10 years to combat those long-term APT threats, so we can effectively spend the organisation's cyber security budget. At the operational level, we can look to increase the capability of our Security Operations Centre, and CTI acts as a force multiplier for detection capabilities, making sure they're focused on those most likely threats and attacks that we'll see against the organisation, setting up the right indicators of compromise so that more of the threat hunting can be effectively automated, reducing the resource burden within your SOC. And even at the tactical level, system administrators can use CTI to understand the vulnerabilities that are actively being exploited out in the wild that they need to prioritize closing down in the systems that they manage. So CTI can be embedded throughout the organization to draw out real value from the analysis.
So now we've explained why CTI is so important and outlined those key areas organizations need to be looking at. How can Turnkey help and support your organization in achieving those benefits? Well, Turnkey's cyber threat intelligence analysis offering will enable organizations a better insight into the APT groups that are likely to target them, the techniques they may use, and areas of the business that are under the highest threat. We achieve this through reviewing your current security functions, conducting external threat evaluations that are tailored to your organization, and we provide recommendations to equip your organization by understanding the landscape from the lens of an attacker. This approach will allow you to more appropriately allocate limited budgets using a risk-based approach that prioritizes the most pressing threats, driving cost efficiencies, time efficiencies, whilst effectively managing your cyber risks. We can help you be more proactive about your cybersecurity response, bolster your overall risk management policies, improve the detection of threats, and make intelligence-informed decisions. So Turnkey's expertise and understanding of business operations spans across the entire landscape of business functions, enabling us to produce more actionable CTI solutions because we consider that wider risk landscape. Cyber threats are going to affect your entire organization, so the whole organization needs to be taken into account when implementing a solution, not just your IT or compliance function. And so Turnkey can bridge that gap between the business and the technology processes to balance your business priorities with your cybersecurity requirements, using Turnkey's expertise to drive all of your risk-based decisions.
So that's CTI in a brief overview. However, if you do want to talk to us more about it, our contact details are there, and please do get in touch and we'll be happy to talk about your specific CTI requirements and where Turnkey might be able to support you.